Why did Jesus say, "My sheep hear my voice"? Welcome to our deep dive into one of the most profound statements made by Jesus, as recorded in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verse 27. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. This scripture is rich in meaning and significance. Through this video, we will explore what Jesus meant and how it applies to our lives today. Join us as we unpack this powerful message. To truly grasp the depth of this verse, we must first set the scene. In John chapter 10, Jesus is speaking to his followers, painting a vivid picture of his role as a shepherd. This dialogue takes place against a backdrop of religious tension and expectation. Jesus' words here are not just a connective metaphor, but a radical declaration about his relationship with his followers. The use of the sheep and shepherd analogy is no accident. In biblical times, shepherding was a common occupation, making it an easily relatable metaphor for Jesus' audience. The shepherd's role was to guide, protect, and care for their sheep, who depended on them for sustenance and safety. Similarly, Jesus assumes the role of the shepherd, promising guidance and care to his followers. Sheep are known for their dependence, ability to recognize their shepherd's voice, and trust in their leader. These traits perfectly illustrate the ideal follower of Christ. Just as sheep respond instinctively to the voice of their shepherd, Jesus' followers are called to discern and trust his voice. This dependency is framed not as a weakness, but as a necessary element of faith. In the analogy, Jesus refers to himself as the Good Shepherd, a role that encompasses guiding, protecting, and even sacrificing for his flock. This shepherd is not distant or uninvolved, but deeply committed to each member of the flock. The shepherd's presence offers comfort and safety, much like the spiritual reassurance Jesus provides his followers. When Jesus says, "My sheep hear my voice," he speaks of something deeper than mere auditory awareness. This hearing involves discernment, recognizing his guidance amidst life's distractions. It requires tuning into his teachings and differentiating his voice from competing influences. Followers who truly hear his voice understand his teachings and let them guide their lives. In today's world, there is an overwhelming amount of noise, both literal and metaphorical. The challenge is to listen amidst this cacophony. Jesus' message is about focus and clarity. Hearing his voice means setting aside distractions, prioritizing spiritual listening, and committing to his path. Jesus' declaration, "I know them," points to an intimate relationship. Knowing, in this context, transcends superficial acquaintance. It denotes a deep understanding of each follower's heart, aspirations, and struggles. This knowledge is mutual, encouraging followers to strive to know Jesus in return, seeking a relationship that goes beyond tradition and ritual. This personal relationship is what distinguishes believers as his sheep. Jesus' knowledge of his followers is depicted as tender and considerate. In response, believers are invited into a personal journey with Jesus, characterized by mutual knowledge and love, a dynamic that forms the heart of Christian faith. The phrase, "they follow me," establishes a call to obedience and commitment. Listening to his voice is only part of the equation. True followers act upon his guidance. Following Jesus involves a conscious decision to embrace his teachings and navigate through life with faith and courage, despite any challenges encountered. Responding to Jesus' call is seen through actions and decisions aligned with his teachings. History offers numerous examples of individuals who heeded Jesus' call, often at great personal cost. Their stories reinforce the idea that following Jesus often leads to transformation, purpose, and deeper fulfillment. In modern times, the scripture remains profoundly applicable. Amid rapid societal changes and uncertainties, Jesus' message provides a steady compass. Hearing and following his voice today means living out his teachings in ways that address current challenges, offering relevance and hope. Cultivating a close relationship with Jesus requires intentional effort. This involves engaging with Scripture, consistent prayer, and openness to his influence in our lives. These practices enable believers to attune their hearts to recognize and respond to his voice more confidently. Developing discernment is essential to hear Jesus' guidance clearly. Believers are encouraged to build a strong faith foundation, enabling them to recognize Jesus' voice and distinguish it from other influences. This requires ongoing spiritual growth and maturation. Following Jesus' voice translates into living out his teachings. It is through these actions that faith becomes visible. The call is to embody his principles, love, forgiveness, justice, and compassion in daily interactions and decisions. Recognizing Jesus' voice provides assurance of his presence. This reassurance is especially comforting in times of uncertainty or difficulty. Believers are reminded that they are not alone, drawing strength and peace from knowing he walks with them. Jesus' guidance is most needed in uncertain times. His followers are called to trust his path even when outcomes are unclear. His voice offers direction and assurance, transforming uncertainty into an opportunity to deepen faith and reliance on his wisdom. The Bible is filled with examples of individuals who heard and followed Jesus' voice. These stories serve as testimonies of faith in action, providing valuable lessons and inspirations for modern believers. Characters like Peter, Paul, and Mary serve as guiding figures whose lives were transformed by their faith responses. Contemporary stories of faith further illustrate the impact of listening to Jesus' voice. Around the world, countless individuals live out their calling, demonstrating the transformative power of faith. These present-day examples encourage believers to act boldly, trusting in Jesus' leading. This video invites viewers to reflect on their personal relationship with Jesus. It encourages them to consider how they hear his voice and respond to his call. Everyone is invited to deepen their spiritual journey through introspection and active engagement with faith. Practical steps to attune to Jesus' voice include daily prayer, meditation, and reflective reading of Scripture. These practices help cultivate an attentive spiritual life, opening the door to clearer communication and understanding of his guidance. Belonging to a community reinforces faith and discernment. Fellow believers offer support and share experiences of hearing and following Jesus, fostering a nurturing environment for spiritual growth. Communal worship and shared reflections are invaluable on this journey. Doubt is a natural part of the faith journey. Addressing these doubts with honesty and seeking answers through Scripture, prayer, and community help fortify faith. Challenges are opportunities to grow stronger in understanding and reliance on Jesus' guidance. Spiritual growth is essential for understanding Jesus' guidance. Resources such as devotional books, podcasts, and fellowship groups can aid in this personal evolution, encouraging a richer and more engaged faith life. Testimonials from individuals whose lives changed by following Jesus illustrate faith's transformative power. These stories encourage believers to embrace their spiritual journey with expectancy and openness to change. We present reflective questions for viewers to ponder. How do you hear Jesus' voice in your life? In what ways can you more closely follow his guidance? This reflection aims to inspire continued personal and spiritual exploration. In conclusion, we have explored Jesus' profound message in John 10:27. Hearing his voice involves discernment and faith. Responding to it requires commitment and action. This scripture remains deeply relevant, offering reassurance, guidance, and purpose. We invite you to take active steps To deepen your relationship with Jesus, listen for his voice, act on his guidance, and share your journey with others. Engage with this timeless spiritual truth and experience its transformative power in your own life. For those interested in delving deeper into this scripture, we recommend additional readings and resources, including contemporary commentaries and biblical studies, to aid in your spiritual growth. In closing, living a life guided by Jesus' voice is both a journey and a destination. We hope this exploration has inspired you to seek his presence more fervently, trusting in the intimate and profound relationship he offers to all his followers. Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to continuing this journey of faith together.